But yeah, I mean, comparing yourself to someone that's not natural and
Yeah.
giving,
Oh,
like,
God,
they're
yeah.
saying they're natural. There's a lot of guys that, I mean, they're open and honest about it. If you are claiming natural when you're clearly not, there's a naive audience in the fitness industry sometimes,
Yeah.
especially the guys the people just getting into it.
Yep.
They're gonna compare themselves to you and think, oh, I can look like that one day.
Yep.
When they're never gonna look like
Yeah,
that.
no.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So it gives them that body dysmorphia, and
Yep.
they lose that like drive to be in the
It's the same
gym.
deal
and-
with the women. It's like women claiming to be
100%.
natural and they had some like Brazilian butt lift or you know what I
Yeah.
mean, boobs
Like
put
all these
in.
surgeries and stuff.
Yeah, all these altercations and everything. And listen, there's nothing wrong with altercations and just doing different things like that. If that's what you want to do,
gotta be
obviously
honest about it.
be honest,
Yeah.
be careful, be wise. And that's the same deal with these guys that over abuse juice and different things like that. It's like I think you should not do any juice if you're not working with a doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're live, another episode of Adversity Kings. We're in the mid 100s, 100 some episodes. I don't know exactly where we're at, but we're in the mid hundreds. We've got special guests today. We've got a photographer, correct? And we've got a fitness individual, correct?
Yeah.
Is that
personal trainer. Yeah.
personal trainer?
Yeah.
Cool. I've had two personal trainers back to, like, we had a personal trainer on yesterday.
Okay.
My personal trainer from Oak Brook. His name's Tommy B. Fit. Then there's a young gentleman named Phil, personal trainer at Mode Gym.
Okay.
Down in the city. Mode. I thought it was Moe's too. I was like, I don't know if they do burritos or something. I was confused. So let's start with introducing yourselves first off. Let's start with you introduce yourself.
Hi. Which camera should I look at?
All of them. Who
All of
knows?
them? Alrighty, cool. I'm Jeremy. I'm a travel freelance photographer and starting fitness content creator.
Okay, dope. So that's kind of how you guys are working together then.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm Logan. I'm a personal trainer and working on fitness content
Cool.
as well.
Let's go. So are you guys both from Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both from Elgin area.
Yeah.
Grow up together?
We met a
no.
couple of years ago, actually. We met working at Planet Fitness.
Okay.
So,
Both
yeah.
worked there?
Yeah.
Yep.
And did you guys both know this is what you wanted to be doing right now?
Photography, I knew, so that kind of picked up 3 years ago, actually. Halfway through college, I was
Yeah.
kind of just like, I didn't know what I wanted to do with life, and then I kind of just like found out through just picking classes. I felt like an intro to photography class, and then I kind of fell in love with it like after doing like the first assignment, and then after that, I knew like that's like what I wanted to do in life.
And then where'd you go to college?
I went to Aurora University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then, I went to Carroll University my freshman year. I went for one semester.
Yeah.
Didn't like it. Transferred out to Elgin Community College.
Yeah.
I started working at Planet just because one of our other buddies worked there.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you need a job.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Shout out
not-
to Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a manager there, so he was like, I'll just, I'll make sure you get the job. So
Yeah.
started working there, fell in love with the gym. My major was physical therapy at first.
Okay.
The schooling, though, it was crazy because I was a student athlete at the same time.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do that anymore. Couldn't really figure out what I wanted to do.
What sport?
I was a soccer player.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you watched the World Cup?
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
a rough World Cup.
Yeah.
Rough one.
It was crazy.
Yeah. It was nuts. A lot of
Yeah.
upsets.
Yeah. America had a solid team, decent team.
Yeah.
Didn't they advance a little further than they did the previous time?
They weren't even at the last World Cup.
Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah.
2018, they weren't even in it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
I didn't
make
know
it.
either.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, America did all right.
That young kid did pretty decent. The one that got injured scored a few times or scored.
Oh, yeah, Pulisic, yeah.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
We
Yeah.
had a good team. I mean, there was one guy that was on the bench the entire World Cup, Gio Reyna. He should have been playing.
Yeah? Why was he benched?
I don't think he got along with the coach very well. I
Yeah.
think that's what it was probably. He's probably the best player we have, and they just didn't play him. Don't know why, but...
Who else was it Ronaldo? Cristiano Ronaldo? Wasn't he benched?
Yeah, crazy. He's my favorite player.
Yeah, why was he benched?
They benched him. I guess he had a little argument with the
Yeah,
coach
I was
about getting taken off early
Okay.
in one of the previous games, so he benched him.
Like the
as,
whole World Cup.
Yeah, he played like the first two games, and then he got taken off early in the second game. Or
It was
whatever, second
insane.
or third, and then they just benched him.
Yeah, that was insane. And then I think he's transferring to the Saudi
Al
Arabian.
Nassr, yeah, it's like $200 million a year.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
and usually you're not allowed to live with another like sex without being married to them.
Yeah, they're exempting the rule.
And they're
yeah.
exempting it for him. So he's allowed to live with his girlfriend.
Dang.
Yeah, because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. You know what I mean? So they're bending that's a very like extremely religious country. You know what I mean? It's like you disobey, their rule sets, their religion. It's like, we'll just shoot you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, no, there's no like justice. It's like, here's the 9mm. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's crazy.
If they didn't do that, I mean, he literally signed the biggest contract in sports history.
Yeah, it's insane.
He makes like $6 a second.
When people compare like
ridiculous.
When people compare like the audiences for other sports to soccer, I don't think sometimes they don't realize like just how big soccer is.
It's such like a phenomenon.
It's massive. It's worldwide. Where people are like, no, like you'll see like just people that are just literally have like one brain cell. They'll be like, football is the most watched American football. Everybody's tuned into Tom Brady. It's like,
no, it's the World Cup.
There was 2 billion people that watched the World Cup final.
It's insane. And you know what? I think cricket is really like somewhat subtopic. It's like up there as well with like billions of people. Yeah, way bigger than football. American football, way bigger.
It's not big here, but like everywhere else in the world, cricket's big, especially in the UK.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. It's insane. And then I think of I want to transition back into you guys and just growing up, but I think of who did really good on Argentina. What's his name? He was basically the MVP of the whole World Cup. What's his name?
On Argentina, I mean, Messi was good.
Messi. So Messi did phenomenal. He got a lot of praise. And seeing just clips and highlights of him going back to his hometown after winning, and just it looks like thousands, hundreds of thousands of people just crowding the city where he's from, and just a significant amount of people just going nuts in the country of Argentina, and like just chanting his name. Yeah. You'll see like a street or a city get, pack out a couple thousand people or something like that. Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, but it's done in a day. I mean, you're talking about like days and weeks of like. Yeah. I mean, they were going nuts in Argentina, like just absolutely. I mean, you would have thought Jesus was back. I mean, it was insane to just see the celebration there. But let's jump back to you guys. So, were you born and raised in Elgin?
So I was born in Chicago, from what my parents told me. Some hospital. It's probably gone now. But, grew up my whole life in Elgin. Never moved.
Okay.
Just same house.
Okay.
Yeah, me and my family. Just me and my sister.
Yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Is younger, older sister?
Older sister. She's 27. She's getting not engaged. She's getting married in April. Oh God, okay. That's scary to say now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oof.
Now, what about your parents? What did they do growing up?
So my mom and dad were born in the Philippines. So, my dad has, oh boy, let me get this number right, 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay.
He's the oldest. He grew up in like a small fishing town in the Philippines. And then my mom, complete opposite, was a daughter of a governor of a town. So like she kind of had like, not rich, but like she kind of had like, she had a good life growing up. They both met in the Philippines, and then my grandma or my grandpa? My grandparents moved here, and then actually no, let me correct myself. My grandpa moved here, and he married an American woman to get a citizenship, and then divorced, remarried my grandma to get my dad's brothers and sisters, and then him citizenship, so that I could come here for a better life.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so now, what do they do for work here?
So my dad owns his own business. He builds circuit boards.
Okay.
And then my mom's just a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then who was more influential in your growing up?
More influential?
Ages? Like, who influenced you most?
Definitely both of them. They both taught, like, my dad taught me more, like, mental stuff and, like, business. Like, being tough.
Yeah.
Like, mentally tough. And then my mom just taught me, like, the simple, like, stuff, like being respectful.
Yeah.
Just kindness. Treat others with respect,
And then did you do sports or hobbies growing up?
I did basketball. I played soccer a little bit. I was a goalie, but basketball was my main sport. Played like somewhat most of my whole life, but then after sophomore year of high school, I kind of stopped. Just focused on school.
Yeah. And then from school, you go into college. Was there anything that stood out to you that just started to kind of direct the path of your life?
Honestly, from like freshman year, sophomore year, I was kind of just lost. I was kind of like by myself. Like, I didn't have a good direction where I wanted to go. I was kind of just working on myself, and then like I said earlier, like junior year when I was picking out classes, I found photography, and honestly, a camera just changed my life.
Did anything inspire you to get into photography, or was it just kind of like that class, and then you just kind of got lucky into finding that passion?
So before I like decided to do class, I was kind of just like deciding, and I thought to myself, I had a good eye for like photos growing up. So like every family vacation, like my mom would be like, "Can you take a photo of me?" And like I always be the one to take the photo.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I had a good eye, so like I kind of just like went with my gut, and I tell myself this, I was like, you never know unless you try. So I
Yeah.
kind of just went for it, and then here I am now. So
Yeah. And so, are you 100%? Is just photography? Are you 100% into photography now, or do you have a side job too?
So currently, I work at 2 retail jobs. I work at Abercrombie and Fitch and Urban Outfitters. But this week will be my last week at Urban Outfitters this Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be trying to like focus more on my photography and
So slowly
fitness
starting to
content.
more and more supplement
Yep.
your income in your life with the photography.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep. Time to risk it for the biscuit.
Yes.
So I was like, all right.
Yes.
So.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then what about you? So where were you born and raised?
I moved all around St. Charles, South Elgin, and Elgin growing up.
Yeah.
I think I moved like 4 or 5 times.
Yep.
And it was all like within 10 minutes of each other. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like I moved crazy far or anything. But yeah, South Elgin, St. Charles area. Played soccer growing up. That was like the biggest part of my life up till I got to college.
Yeah.
I tore my ACL twice in high school.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I tore my meniscus a year ago.
It's meniscus is no fun.
No.
My freshman year of high school, I tore my ACL. Then my junior year, I tore my ACL meniscus. So after both of those, I was kind of worried I wasn't gonna be able to, make a career out of soccer because I put everything I had into playing soccer.
Yeah.
So 2 major injuries like that set me back.
Yeah.
I ended up. I was playing D3, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
The school I chose and the soccer program there, it didn't fit me. So that was a big reason why I transferred out. And then, got the job at Planet, just kind of didn't really know where I was going with my life for a couple years.
Yeah.
I worked at Planet, left Planet. I ended up working at LA Fitness right afterwards. Then I got a job at Dick's, worked there for a while. And then April of last year, I tore my ACL again. So I'd
How'd
done
you
it
tear
3
it that
times.
time?
I had some friends that I used to play soccer with. They invited me to join some
Summer league.
spring league.
Yeah.
And so I joined first game of the season. So I worked an 8-hour shift at Dick's, and then I worked at the one in Geneva.
Okay.
Or I did. And then I was told we got a game at 9:30 tonight. It's in Lake Barrington. Come out, play. We'll pay for you to play and everything. Do my shift, drive over there. First half, I score a hat trick, and then start of the second half, I got triple team. One guy kicked me in the side of the knee. I tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus all at the same time.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So after that, I was, it took a big toll because 3 major injuries, and I'm only 21.
Yeah.
So that was hard, but I feel like that whole thing just, I don't know, it kind of put me on the right path. I don't know why, but from there on, I started my personal training certification. I'm working on some more certifications right now, but I kind of just got my life together right afterwards.
Yeah.
Hurt myself, had the surgery, and
So are you certified as a personal trainer now?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'm supposed to start my first one this week, my first job this week.
Client?
So I'm working at Esporta Fitness.
Is that right down the road?
Dude, I'm at the one in South Elgin.
Okay.
It used to be LA Fitness. They just changed the name.
Yeah, so is LA converting into Esporta?
So Fitness
I-
International owns a bunch of different name gyms. LA Fitness is like their biggest one, but Esporta is cheaper.
Okay.
So, they couldn't really compete with Planet.
Yeah.
Because LA Fitness memberships are crazy expensive.
No, they're not. Dude, I work out at Lifetime Oak Brook. Sometimes my monthly bill is $500.
I mean, for
the
the
only
stuff,
person
for the
on it.
stuff you're getting.
Yeah,
for LA
I guess,
Fitness
yeah,
is
tech-
expensive. For the
Yeah.
stuff you're getting.
I've never. I'll look at it sometimes and be like, what the fuck? Like, like, can I drive it? You know what I mean? Like, can I drive this gym around? Like, $500 is a decent car payment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I look around like my little sister's on here, so I take care of her. So, but you still imagine it's like 200, 250 each.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Some gyms are crazy expensive. Like I've looked into working at Lifetime.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard because I mean I don't have any experience as a trainer
Yeah.
yet. I know what I'm doing, but like I don't have the work experience, so it's hard to get into somewhere like Lifetime without it.
Yeah.
But I used to work at a Sporta, so they were like, "Yeah, just reapply. We'll take you on."
Yeah.
They offered me like 40 clients or something like that right away, which is pretty nice. So
Hell yeah, it's pretty nice. I don't know what they. I know Lifetime, you're gonna pay like $150 an hour, $125 an hour.
gosh,
For
I
a
know
training
some
session.
people that worked at Lifetime
Yeah,
as trainers. Like
Yeah.
one of the guys that I know from a Sporta, his girlfriend was a trainer there. Said she was making like 120,000
Yeah.
as a trainer. I'm like,
Yeah, he makes
That's
decent
crazy.
money. Yeah, he makes some solid money. Yeah, Lifetime's definitely a high-end gem. You know what I mean? You see some Rolls Royces, some Ferraris, and different things like that. So, but it's got a variety as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's some people are so obsessed with the gym that they'll come up with. I think the base membership's like 150, 170.
Yeah.
So they'll come up with it. But I can remember growing up and barely being able to afford Planet Fitness. My mom being like, "Yep, we don't have the dollar to put down." I was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, that's how I was. That's how
We
I
don't have
was.
the 20 cents to put down. I was like, well, it's on sale. They'll pay you to work. They'll pay you to work out there. And I was like, we can't afford it. What? I just said
Yeah.
they'll pay us. And it was like, yeah, we can't afford that. So, yeah, it's definitely weird to see the different levels and certain things like that. But what about? I guess let's kind of jump into what's the next 5 or so years look like for you guys. So, Jeremy, what's the next like 5 or so years look like for you, photography wise? Obviously, getting 100% into photography. Are you staying here? Do you want to get outside of Chicago? What's that all look like? Have you thought of it?
I've thought of it a little. I have like a general idea of where I want to go. So I have like a good group of friends that are doing like photographer, videographer, like in the same like industry that I want to do. They're all still in school.
Is there a niche that you're referencing? The fitness.
I like to do fitness, but they all do like. I have a friend in LA. He does music videos.
Okay.
I have a friend that wants to do commercial. I have a friend that does like wedding and commercial. So probably like it's a big group. So what was I gonna say? So after they're done with school, we're probably gonna like try to move in together or something.
Yeah, smart.
We talked about either LA or Chicago, but then like we're all trying to figure out like the pros and cons.
Oh, they're both expensive. It doesn't
yeah.
fucking matter.
LA's expensive.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like I was looking at like apartments just an idea, and I was
Yeah.
kind of just like mind blown. I
They're
was
like, you can have this corner for $2,000 a month.
it's like literally like
You'll
that-
stay in that box. Give us $3,000 a month.
You could stay right there for $5,000 a month.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, really? Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy. So either LA or Chicago. I think I'm leaning towards more Chicago because Chicago's home.
Chicago, bro. It's on the up and up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? LA is like so hyper liberal that it's like too aggressively like just screwed up. You know what I mean? Whereas like Chicago, I feel like it's got like a borderline like middle ground where it's like you're gonna have a lot of diversification where you've got people, especially if you're open minded, you'll have your conservative individuals, you'll have your liberal individuals, you'll have people like me that are just kind of like in the middle and just kind of
Yeah.
like open minded. Like, hey,
Yeah.
I believe in that. I don't believe in that. As long as people are like safe, I don't care what you do.
Yeah.
But I feel like in some areas where they're just so if you're too aggressive to either side, you can really jeopardize the economy of an individual, like a localized area, and it's like it can be no bueno. You know what I mean? So that's where I feel like some of these places are just too far screwed up.
Yeah. Like LA, California, you have like earthquakes, wildfires, Pangea that might break off.
like-
I don't know.
Some places I hear are like and have seen footage is like The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? With just the homeless population, because you're incentivized not to work. You're incentivized in some of these areas to essentially just be homeless. Like they'll just pay you to be homeless.
One city that I visited last year it's literally out of The Walking Dead. I'm being serious. It's sadly it's Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to take a trip with like some buddies of mine, and then at the end of the trip we were just staying in Portland downtown for like 2 nights, and
Yeah.
like every corner like there's like a campfire. There's like a camps. Like it felt like The Walking Dead.
You know
like,
what's crazy is aggressive homeless people. Like when they're like
you will see them. Like we saw a guy with a Molotov just throwing out the building. We're like,
yeah.
am I in a movie?
I remember when I first moved to Chicago, me and my buddies went out to I think like McCormick and Schmick's, like a seafood place down in the city.
Oh, okay.
And we were coming out, and my buddy had a nicer chain on, and this old homeless dude, just kind of like crippled over. He was like, "You guys got any food to eat?" And we were like, "Yeah, no, brother, we don't have anything." It was like we don't carry cash either. We're 1099. You know what I mean? So being a business owner, being 1099, you typically don't want to carry cash because now if it's not traceable, you can't write it off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, for taxation purposes. So don't got cash, got a nice chain on, and this old homeless dude's like, "You guys got anything?" We're like, "No, we don't. We apologize. Hope you have a great night." And he just like starts freaking out. He's like, "How about I take that fucking chain?" And starts reaching for our buddy, and we're like, let's just get in the car." You know what I mean? So it's some of the moments are kind of funny. It's kind of hilarious. But then sometimes you got to take into consideration, like, you got to be safe, because I'll see videos of people just getting held at gunpoint in Chicago, just randomly. And I tell
there's
people,
some characters out there in Chicago,
and there's characters out there in the world, because
Yeah.
I let people know, it's like, you can go to a rural area where there's not many people to be found, or a country area where there's not many people to be found, and find just as much trouble, if not more trouble, in a wealthy area, in a demographic where it's just broken and poor and poverty. It's like, if you look for it, you'll find trouble. But there's some, you know what I mean? There's right time, right place. You'll just walking around in Chicago, and there's, you know what I mean? There's gunfire, shit like that. So, but because I don't like to discourage people from coming out to Chicago. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, it's like, look, if you look for trouble, you're gonna find it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Chicago is, you got to be a little on your toes.
Yeah. Like you said, Chicago's like a good middle ground, because like, at least it's too expensive for me. It's on the west side, and then New York. Oh boy.
It's similar. It's hyper expensive too.
Yeah, it's like similar. Like I think of New York like two Chicagos, but just like
condensed into one or something.
It's just combined, and there's like a big park.
Chicago's like perfectly spaced out. Like, it's not a baby
It's not
city.
huge. Yeah.
And it's not like so huge and like on top of each other where you can't get around and have no idea what the fuck's going on. New York, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I just look and I'm like, oh shit, I have no idea where am I? You know what I mean? It's like two countries into like one little city.
Yeah, because Chicago, you can walk everywhere. You'll be okay. You can take the bike. You can take the scooters. You can take the train. You can Uber. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then like, New York's just so massive.
Yeah.
Like, there's just like three big ass islands, and then just like trains. Yeah. It's just hectic. But
Yeah. And it's dirty.
Dirty. Yes.
Yeah. Like, Chicago
oh my gosh.
ain't like dirty. Like, it's a little dirty, but it's not like
It's not New
dirty.
York.
New York's dirty. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not at a pretty place, it's dirty.
Like a full corner can be like all trash, and that's normal. And then there's rats. Like, that's disgusting.
They're not even like rats. They're like mini
They're like
like, what are those capybaras? You know what I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about.
You know what I mean? Those like giant rats. So that's definitely nuts. What about for the next 5 years?
Oh, I want to try to be like an independent personal trainer.
Yes.
So just, like sign a contract with the gym, bring my own clients in, just train them there.
Yeah.
Because I can make a lot more money doing that.
Yeah.
Plus, it's more of a personal connection with the people you're actually training.
Yeah.
Because they're training with me because they want to train with me, not because
they go to the gym.
Asporta is assigning them to me.
Yes.
So that's kind of the goal I'm setting. Because one, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be the thing I'll enjoy the most because it's me. I'm pretty much running my own thing at that point.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice to have my own thing going for me. It'll help financially a lot.
Yeah.
So, that's the goal. And then, obviously, I'm trying to work on my content.
Yeah.
Because of this guy.
Yeah.
He's the one that got me into it.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything fitness related online. Like, I never even post.
Yeah.
I didn't. Now, he's got me posting like 3 times a week on TikTok, trying to get Instagram.
Yeah, he's like my little poster boy experiment.
Yeah.
My little practice.
Let's go.
Yeah,
So who inspires you the most, I guess, when it comes to the fitness industry? Is there anybody you look up to?
Oh, I don't think I can do this.
Yeah.
There's a couple. The guy that got me into like liking fitness content was Jesse James West.
Okay, I've heard of him.
Yeah, so I found him during quarantine.
Yeah.
Found a video of him. He was doing eating and training like Cristiano Ronaldo for 24 hours.
Yeah.
So that's how I found him. He was the first guy I ever saw on just the fitness side of YouTube. Really liked what he did. I've been following him since he might have only had less than 100,000 subs at that point. I think he's almost at 5 mil now.
Okay.
So he was like my first inspiration when it came to that. Now it's like, I mean, everyone loves him, but C-Bum.
Yep.
Gotta love C-Bum.
Yeah.
Oh, C-Bum.
Vaughn Walker, Anthony Mantello.
Yeah.
Those guys, watch all their stuff. I love how they do it. I want to do something like that. It'd be really nice to do YouTube someday.
Yeah.
Gotta grow on all the other social medias a little bit.
Yeah.
Have at least some following before I can post some stuff on YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, you know, my own thing with personal training.
Will you
Plus,
compete in like classic physique, or do you have any aspirations to do anything like that?
I'd love to.
I've always wanted to ask you that, actually.
I definitely want to do a natural show at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could get myself to take steroids.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if there's anyone that thinks like C-Bum is natural, I mean, you are out of your mind.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks.
There's some guys that are there's some people that are really naive about it that will say guys that are that big
Yeah.
are natural, which
Yeah, once you're like over 200 and like maintaining under 10% body
that's
fat,
what I'm saying.
I start to like, yeah, you're not happy.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I just personally don't think that the long-term effects that can come from it are worth it.
No.
Like it'd be sick to be that big,
Yeah.
that big and that lean. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think it's that worth it.
No.
Because I mean, you see these guys like, you ever seen Greg Doucette on YouTube? Coach Greg.
Sounds familiar. Is he older?
Yeah, he's an older guy. Yeah.
But he stays big as shit.
Yeah.
And he does like reverse, like bench press with like 405. You ever seen a guy that's like not like he goes like this. His hands are like this for bench.
Why?
Older dude.
Whoa.
Why?
I have no idea. I think just to kind of like flex on people.
Yeah.
Imagine someone going like this with 405 and then goes like this with it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
I don't.
If you move your hands like this and just try 135, it's weird. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
kinda
he's wearing
fucking
black
hard.
Air Forces. That's not it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to picture that.
But back to what I was saying, like someone like Greg Doucette, like he got his pro card, started competing, started taking steroids.
Yeah.
He said he abused them. He didn't do it
Yeah.
super like the way you're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then he later on he was using it as he was supposed to, but he got to the point where like he abused it. So he has to be on HRT the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to have to rely on something
Yeah.
that I'm not producing naturally.
Yeah.
That amount naturally.
Have you ever ran your blood work?
I have not. I probably should.
Yeah.
But I haven't.
Yeah.
I'm curious about that, actually.
You should.
Doing that, yeah.
Studies show statistically like 90+% of men, especially around our age group, the testosterone levels are half of what they used to be 20 years ago. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
You'll hear a lot of the mental health nowadays is worse than it's ever been, right? And it's and more so, I don't think people realize it's more of a chemical imbalance than anything. Than people are just going through harder things. I don't think it's like 100 years ago. You know what I mean? I saw this quote the other day. Not necessarily a quote. It was a reference to history. If you were born in 1900, you were experiencing war and depression until you were 75, 78, because you went from World War I to World War II to the Cold War to, and I may not have this in chronological order. I should at this point, World War I, World War II. But then you have the Cold War into the Great Depression, Cold War, Vietnam
War.
And then after that, I mean, you're just experiencing the effects of all these wars until the 70s or 80s. So you're 70, 80 years old before, you know what I mean, like life starts to ease up on you. So it's like we're 20 years old and like what is our mental health excuse? We don't know what to do with our life. We're not successful. We don't have a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? There's so many options and opportunities out there that we're just mentally debilitated. We can't get out of the fucking bed. So really the issue is all these microplastics and everything, there's what's called phthalates. And that phthalates attacks the reproductive system. And you can look this up. It's a pH. It's not TH. It's phthalate. So the pH, the P is silent. So these phthalates, they actually attack the reproductive system for male and female. And what they found is, and it makes sense. My theory, and I kind of go on this conspiracy, but all these conspiracy theories are coming true with the Twitter files. I don't know if you guys are. It's like, oh shit, this shit is actually real. But we don't have the technology or the advancement or the resources to sustain the population. You know what I mean? At the rate that we're growing worldwide, it's like people don't realize. Like I had a scientist on early, and we were going over the percentage of produce and food lost in distribution. Like all the food just isn't grown, here, like grown and everything isn't just produced here in America. You know what I mean? It's like there's the export, the import industry, and it's like 30 to 40% of food is lost. You know what I mean? So it's like plus all the waste that we waste as Americans and just people in general. So it's like there's so many preservatives, there's so many chemicals that we don't even realize that all these plastics and everything like that didn't exist years ago that we continue to consume, they destroy the endocrine system. When you destroy a man's testosterone or even a woman's estrogen and her cycles and everything like that, like birth control is not normal. Talk to a girl on birth control and a girl off birth control. They almost like identical, like not identical, like completely opposite creatures.
Polar opposites,
you know what I mean? Where it's like one just likes the you know what I mean, just something like the bottom G, and then the other one likes like the top. I see like the other one likes like the top G, like the alpha, that fitness guy and that guy that's like a go-getter, an ambitious individual, and that's a general, you know what I mean, assumption, but. When you really get down into studying, and the reason I'm so pat, you're like, oh, dude, what the fuck's this kid take? I take a little bit of test. So, but reason being is I ran my test, and it was like 400, 500. I take like 0.4. You know what I mean? So I take something that you could consider like taking and have the longevity. Now I ran my blood work a month or two ago, and it was a little high, so I had to bring it down. So I was taking 0.8 a week. 0.8 is, I mean, out of what some of these guys take, some of them will take like 500. Like they'll use the shit out of it.
It's
you know
crazy.
What I mean? And for me, I never had any like mental health issues or anything outside of like anger issues. You know what I mean? So if anything, I would have seen my test was high because why the fuck was I so angry all the time? Mm-hmm. But when you dissect the whole body, it's really cool to get into, you know, running a blood panel. If you went and asked your doctor though, your typical physician, you know they won't let you run your test.
Really?
Yeah,
really?
Unless you told them you were like suicidal.
Whoa. What?
So yeah, so and the reason being is you have to have extremely negative, like, I guess in a sense, results or symptoms for them to run, you know, a lab that is outside of, you know. But if you told them you can't focus in school, what are they going to give you? I can't focus. I can't. You know what I mean? I'm drowsy. Uh-huh. They'll give you meth. They'll give you fucking Adderall. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you tell them you're depressed. And, you know, things just don't, they won't give you tests, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or for a woman, they won't balance out her systems and look into estrogen and different things like that too. So it's like the immediate solution is to suppress. Everything's so accessible. You go to, you 5-10 minutes down the road, you're going to always find a fast food spot. And people don't realize all these preservatives, all these chemicals, all these GMOs, it's all modified. You know what I mean? So all these modifications that are just completely depleting your system. And now you're wondering, it's like, why do I feel so horrible? And then the reproductive, like people probably could honestly just stop wearing condoms. Like people aren't, you know what I mean, like having babies like they used to. Yeah. The average household, I think 30, 40, 50 years ago, maybe even just 20 years ago, was probably producing 2 to 3 times the amount of children. And the reason being is the government or a political figure can't play Thanos. He couldn't just get on the TV and say, half of you must go. It's for the greater good. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, he can't do that. They can't do that. But what they can do is quietly herd everybody into, and almost it's like, it's not moral. You know what I mean? It's like, we need to just figure it out. We need to figure out how to not attack, you know what I mean? And maybe they're not deliberately. Maybe we just aren't wise enough and educated enough to create containers and preservatives that aren't going to just destroy people's, you know, hormones. You know, it's as simple as that. But it's something to absolutely look at, especially the industry you're getting into. 99.99% of people are on like some shit in your industry. You know what I mean? So it's like, but natural freaks, absolutely a thing. It's absolutely a thing. But it's still something cool to like test it out, male and female. I think every quarter or something, because you should see what are you eating, what should you supplement. Like my vitamin D was low, so it's like I take a vitamin D, like a pharmaceutical vitamin D. I think a lot of people don't realize different fish oils, you know what I mean? Because, you know, you look at guys and you know, no disrespect to Joe Biden, but, you know, because I think there's so many memes about him, but I think that dude has kids and grandkids. So it's like, imagine if your grandpa was on TV just getting flamed all day. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, damn, dude, I'm related to him. I'd feel somewhat bad, you know? So it's like, but I think a lot of people don't take into consideration of like, what's going on? Like, what can we do to preserve naturally our minds, our bodies, our spirits? And it all corresponds with your finances. Both you being young entrepreneurs, I started this company. I run a life insurance company. So I started it 2 years ago. But I've been at 100% commission since I was 18, 19 years old. You know what I mean? So living on my own. I moved out at 19, 100% commission. Nobody there to help me. My dad in jail, my mom. We grew up poor as fuck. And I think people don't realize, like, you can't survive 100% commission if you don't take care of the most important business first. Like creating
Yeah.
your own business starts with this business, the business of you. You know what I mean? Like your best investment, the best stock, the S&P me. You know what I mean? The
Yourself,
S&P me,
yes.
yeah. Like investing all into like all these books and working out and different things like that and checking your body inside and out is like, that's like, if you really want to guarantee success, it's always going to be like, how can I make me the best business first? You know what I mean? Like becoming the best version of yourself. So that's where I get real passionate of like, are you dissecting and auditing and almost like the educational system? Like, are you grading yourself on a day-to-day basis, a week-to-week basis, a month-to-month basis? Because we measure our businesses and we measure our bodies. Why don't you measure everything when it comes to you and then allow that to reflect externally? You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's my tangent, my rant of that spurred from test. But it's so crazy to me, dude. I'm like, you listen to a lot of Joe Rogan. What podcast do you guys listen to?
I don't watch a whole ton of podcasts.
What do you like? YouTube, movies? What do you listen to? Where do you get your inspiration?
I'm a big YouTube guy.
Yeah. me
What
too.
YouTube accounts?
Oof. I watch Casey Neistat. Oh boy, I gotta name people.
Oh, Casey Neistat. What's he about again? Like, what's his niche? I've watched him.
He's just like vlogs, YouTube, tech, filmmaking.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
I've definitely watched him.
Vlogs. Yeah.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah, he's like
He's big.
He's like I think of him as YouTube. He's like the goat of YouTube.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's huge. He's up
He's
there with like
literally
Mr.
YouTube.
Beast.
Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah, that level. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's huge. What about you?
I mean, I only watch fitness.
Bradley Martin.
I watch Bradley Martin.
I watch him sometimes, not
Yeah.
all the time.
He's natural. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I really like C-Bum's videos. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
His camera guy Calvin, he does a great job.
Dude, the fitness videos are underrated. You guys
They really
really
are.
crush it. You guys crush it. It's so motivating. It's so like the kid I had on my podcast yesterday. I mean, he's just killing it. I'll show you guys some of his clips, Phil. I mean, he's just this shit is so cool, dude. Like, you do stuff like this with the dark, and you have the talk over and shit. You guys do stuff like that?
Yeah.
That
We're,
shit's
we're getting into that. Yes.
I used to be strictly just like
Workout.
what I'm doing for my lift.
Yeah.
I'm moving more into like
that shit's
this kind of
yeah, dude.
This kind of
Especially
more
with all
trendy
the
stuff.
cool shit going. I mean, you can put like the Joker scenes and different like things that are just, especially in a day and age where it goes back to mental health, because a lot of people are just beating the fuck out of themselves in their minds because they think there's something wrong with them, but really there's just a chemical imbalance. You know what I mean? So
I think one thing with the mental health side of it, I mean, I think, making yourself healthier in the gym, it helps so much. But there's
so
also, I
crucial.
mean, there's a big downside to the fitness, like the
body morphia,
body dysmorphia,
yeah.
awful. And it doesn't even come from like, oh, I don't think I'm big enough. It's more like we both do it. Looking up to these.
Yeah, comparing and contrasting.
Yeah, you're just like you're
comparing
comparing,
yourself.
like
Yeah.
comparing myself to someone like C-Bum, Von Walker,
Yes.
all these guys.
And then it's even worse when you have somebody like Liver King that spends a year or 2 years saying he's natural and just eats balls.
I don't think any.
You know what I mean? I just eat these nuts,
I was gonna say
these livers.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, I mean, comparing yourself to someone that's not natural and
Yeah.
giving,
Oh,
like,
God,
they're
yeah.
saying they're natural.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that they're open and honest about it.
You gotta be open.
The guys that I watch, they're
Yeah.
all on stuff. Besides,
Yes.
I think Jesse James West. He's natural.
Yeah.
He's not big or lean. Like he's not big enough and lean enough to be on something.
He seems
Yeah.
natty. Yeah.
100%. He's
Yeah.
like 5'9", 5'10",
Oh,
like
okay.
180.
Yeah. See, I think under 200, you have a good
But like,
good bit of saying you're natural.
I mean, if you are claiming natural when you're clearly not, there's a naive audience in the fitness industry sometimes,
Yeah.
especially the guys the people just getting into it.
Yep.
They're gonna compare themselves to you and think, oh, I can look like that one day.
Yep.
When they're never gonna look like
Yeah.
that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So it gives them that body dysmorphia and
Yep.
they lose that like drive to be
It's
in
the
the
same
gym.
deal
and-
with the women. It's like women claiming to be
100%.
natural and they had some like Brazilian butt lift or you know what I
Yeah.
mean, boobs
Like
put
all these
in
surgeries and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all these altercations and everything. And listen, there's nothing wrong with altercations and just doing different things like that. If that's what you want to do,
gotta be
obviously
honest about it.
be honest.
Yeah.
Be careful. Be wise. And that's the same deal with these guys that over abuse juice and different things like that. Is like, I think you should not do any juice if you're not working with a doctor. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you should work with a doctor. You know what I mean? And then you should take the doctor's recommendations.
Yeah.
Like somebody that has 8+, 10+. Not your buddy that's like, yeah, this shit gave me a great workout. It's like, that's who you're going. Like the dude that just got fucking, you know what I mean? Like, you know, peanut butter oil from his boy down the road, bro. He didn't get tested. You know what I mean? Like, dude, yeah, bro. Like, please, like, for the sake of your heart and your future, like, and some of these kids, like SARMs and things like that, it's like, dude, you just shut your nuts off for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Like, please, for the love of God, go work with a doctor. Because, yes, your physician, your common physician won't help you, but you just look up like hormone clinics or different things like that, and there's consultants and people that will have a doctor that will contact and work with you. The issue is that sucks is you got to have money.
It's
not going to be covered by insurance.
It is expensive.
Like I think I do a lab every quarter, and it costs me $300-$400. A lot of kids our age don't really just not in a place to pay $300-$400. You know, it just is what it is. Like $300-$400 is fucking half the rent. You know what I mean, or the car payment and shit like that. So it's like, you know, it just kind of coincides back into, well, you got to figure out how to make the money. You know what I mean? You got to go out, start a photography business, go out, become a personal trainer, because now you're in a position where you're not capped. I think everybody should like do something where you can make some uncapped money. If you can do it on the side, do it on the side. You definitely have time. Cut the Netflix down. Cut the, you know what I mean, chasing the girls and chasing the guys down.
There's time for everything.
There's time. There's time for it. If you can make time. If somebody else did it, you can do it. I always tell people, it's like somebody did more with less. You know what I mean? Somebody was in your somebody was in a worse situation than you, and they found a way out. So it's like, you better dig fucking deep and find if you really want it. You know what I mean? Don't just do the cheap route and just order SARMs. You know what I mean?
Order SARMs.
Yeah. So, well, what about hobbies and shit outside of work and outside of fitness? You guys have any like hobbies, things that you really love doing?
Hobbies.
I'm into art.
Art?
Yeah, I like drawing and painting.
I just had an artist on yesterday, and a film artist in Chicago, and you know, it brought back I used the word today, avant-garde. You know what I mean? It's an art word of beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know what I mean? So art, essentially art. Are you familiar with avant-garde? So like art is created in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
So what kind of art are you into?
I mean, I drew a lot of cartoons growing up, just more like a cartoony type of guy. Now it's just like, I mean, I haven't done it and I haven't drawn or painted anything in a while. Yeah. But I mean, when quarantine hit, it was like I bought canvases and just got some acrylic paints. Yeah. Sketched out and then painted over it. Yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of them. I mean, I had people like, you know, I'd post a couple of them on my Snapchat. And commission
pieces, different things like that.
I had people be like, "Oh, paint this for me. I'll pay you for it." I'm like,
"Yeah, sweet."
Okay.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I got a little bit of money off of that. Nothing crazy. But
yeah.
Should do more of that.
$1's a dollar.
Yeah, but I mean, other than that, I mean, soccer was one. But after 3 knee surgeries, I'm not doing it anymore. Not worth it. No. Not worth it.
I do a lot of jiu-jitsu, and that's where I try to maintain a balance of like getting injured and like when I start to feel kind of shooken up. Yeah. So that's my big thing. That and movies. You guys like any movies, shows, shit like that?
I love watching.
You have a favorite movie?
Oh, favorite movie.
Or favorite 2 or 3? Some people are like me and have like 70.
The Dark Knight's my number one.
Yeah, Dark Knight's fire.
It's so good.
I love it.
Is that the one with Bane in it? Or is that the Dark Knight Rises?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the Joker.
Oh,
yeah. So good. And isn't Two-Face in it as well?
Yeah, Two-Face.
Yeah, so fire.
I really like. You ever seen Baby Driver?
Yeah, I think I have.
I really like Baby Driver.
Yeah,
really good movie.
Is that to do with the little black dude in it? Driver. Actually, no, it's not. No. Baby
Who's
Driver.
It's
Jamie Foxx.
He's a Jamie Foxx in it. He's because the main character, I can't remember who it is.
Ansel.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I feel like you look like the dude. The driver.
He's a getaway driver.
Yeah, that was a good fucking movie.
So
90% Rotten Tomatoes. That was a good movie.
I like older movies too. Like, not a lot of people have seen it. It's an old Tom Hanks movie. It's called The Burbs.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that.
A lot of people haven't seen it. It's like Tom Hanks was young in it. Not like a kid, but like early on.
Look it up.
It's like they try to make it like a funny horror movie. It's not like scary or anything. It's more
89.
like they just have this like weird neighbor move in and they think he's like murdering people and burying them in his backyard. And
Yeah.
it's all I'm big into horror movies too. I love horror movies.
Yeah, that's that white shit. I don't do that with horror movies, bro.
I hated them for the longest time, and then in high school, my friends like sat me down because all my friends, most of them have a lot of money. So like one of our friends he had like a movie theater in his basement.
Yeah.
So they all like scary movies, and then they stuck me.
What's your favorite scary movie?
My favorite one? I don't know. The first one I ever saw was Insidious.
That's like the worst scary movie. It's so scary. Like that's why.
That was the one I
That's so
started with.
horrible, dude. That one's so. Have you seen? They're all scary.
I
as
saw
shit.
all 4 of them. The 4th one sucked so bad.
Oh, it would probably scare. If I saw it, it'd probably scare the shit.
I mean, some of it was good. I feel like just like the overall movie, the way
Yeah.
it ended, it was just terrible. The first 3 though were really good.
that Annabelle doll one is scary as
The
shit.
Annabelle movies. I think the whole Conjuring universe is good.
So scary.
Anything with dolls? No, I'm good.
No, so horrible.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like,
What about? Did you go see that doll movie last night? Was that scary?
No.
that
Yes,
like
it
electric?
was.
No.
That artificial
Megan?
intelligence. Yes.
Megan? Yeah.
Oh.
Not at all. Like, I think.
It looks. The commercials scare me. I see it and
the
get
only
scared.
thing scary about it is like the way she crawls and like comes out.
That bitch when she starts crawling, I'm like, yep.
I don't even know what's it about.
It's literally about this like little girl loses like her parents, and so she moves in with like her aunt, and then this aunt is like a toy maker, and so she makes this like robotic doll like that, like literally the.
Oh, that's so
kid, like,
weird.
comes up to it and puts her hand on it and connects through like some weird fucking way.
Oh.
And so this
Oh.
goal is to protect her from harm. And so this doll is so connected to this girl because they have spent so much time together that some like kid hurting her, and she's like, "Ow, you're hurting me." She goes and murders these people every time they get like she.
Oh my
it's
God.
A threat to her, but it's not scary. It's just her murdering people.
It's just
not-
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then it's like, what the? That's stupid. And then the only scary part is the end when she like goes after the aunt, and she like does a weird dance. in the
Of course she-
commercial, And then she like crawls and she's like a.
That crawl is scary as shit.
So it's Terminator, but a little doll.
Yeah. It's,
I just saw Avatar the other day. The
That
new
was
one.
fire.
So good.
Yeah, I like
so
Avatar.
long though.
Yeah.
I need to go see that.
Yeah, it's fire.
3
It's
hours.
long.
But another thing. I watched The Office over and over and over again.
I do that with Family Guy.
Family Guy.
I mean,
we
it's a
love
go-to.
Family
It's
Guy.
a go-to.
Yeah, I just keep Family Guy on. Like
The-
if I
The
just
Office
need
is my
something-
it's my comfort show.
Yeah, see, the Family Guy is just like something I keep in the background to keep my spirits like good.
Mhm.
That's my go-to. So, well, as we wrap up, we're almost an hour in. Is there anything else you guys want to share before you share where people can find you? Anything else on your minds?
Would you consider traveling as a hobby?
Traveling? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
It's your biggest hobby then.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Where's the
my
coolest place
hobby.
you've been?
Coolest place I've been. My favorite place. Oh, Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Switzerland.
I think my buddy went to Switzerland.
Like people say, like Colorado, the mountains are beautiful. Like no, Switzerland's like
The Swiss Alps.
it's just different. Like
Yeah.
the air is just so clean. It's just so green. The mountains are just massive.
Yeah.
Another level, like out of this.
Is
planet.
that the place with like the hot springs,
There's a lot of hot springs.
like in Switzerland?
I'm not exactly.
You know what
sure.
I'm talking about? Like where it looks like it should be cold, but the water's actually hot. Like it looks snowy and there's like monkeys in it.
I don't travel that much. I mean, the only cool travel story I have,
I'm gonna call my boy
I
and
went
ask.
to I went to Brazil in 2014. So
That sounds sweet.
I went on a missions trip, but we just happened to go at the same time the World Cup was going on
Yeah.
there. So I got to go to a game,
Yeah.
which was awesome.
You went to a game?
Yeah, I saw Portugal versus USA.
That's insane.
So got to see my country versus my favorite players.
yeah.
It was awesome. But, I mean,
So you did get to see him play?
I got to see him play once.
Oh.
Probably won't see him again.
Oh, okay.
I mean, unless he, for whatever reason, plays in the next World Cup. Because the next World Cup's here.
Oh, I'm going. I want to make sure.
It's in Chicago?
No, they don't have one in Chicago. I think
The closest one is in Kansas, Kentucky.
it might be. It's one of those two.
More down there.
I think the finals in New York.
Yeah.
Is that MetLife Stadium?
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds
Another
right.
life insurance company.
So that's where the final is, but it's split between Canada, U.S., and Mexico.
That's insane.
there's like 2 games in Canada, like 3 in Mexico, and the rest are in the U.S.
That's insane.
But yeah, there's not one in Chicago because I think the biggest stadium we have
Soldier
is
Field.
Soldier Field. That's too small
Yeah.
for a World Cup game.
Yeah.
Because you have to have like a certain amount of seats to
Yeah.
hold a World Cup game.
Unless they build the Bears Stadium in like 5 seconds, I'm sure.
I don't think they're gonna go out of their way to build more. I mean, even
No.
the one in Qatar. I mean, there were so many problems with people not getting paid to build stadiums, and then the guys that were building it. I mean, a lot of them died, building it.
Wow.
It's like there was guys dying from while building the stadiums, and then there was people not getting paid for it.
Wow.
So yeah, they're not gonna go out of their way to build new ones.
Yeah.
Just to have a game in Chicago. I mean, yes, it'd be awesome to see one in Chicago, just because it's one of the more well-known cities in the country.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean,
Top 5 city, I think. Yeah, we are.
so it's
Yeah, we are.
just, yeah. I mean, they're not gonna build one unless they, for whatever reason, last minute change their mind. But I mean, they only got 3.5 years. I don't think they'll get a nice enough stadium in that little amount of time. Plus, I mean, they're gonna build it, and then what team's gonna use it afterwards?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Build the stadium just for a couple World Cup games. It's not gonna happen.
Odds are pretty slim.
Yeah.
It's very, very slim.
All right. So where can everybody find you guys?
So I have my own website at jamiedelaCruz.com, and then I have my Instagram and TikTok, Jamie Dela Cruz. I can spell it out, JEREMY DLACRUZ, and then you'll find me. You can find me there on my socials.
Let's go.
Then I got Instagram and TikTok. My Instagram's Logan Michels 10. Last name, there's no A. It's Michels.
Oh,
no
wow.
A. And then my TikTok is Logan Michels Fitness.
That's a weird Michaels.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
Everyone thinks my last name's Michels.
Oh,
Or
okay.
Mitchells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle's.
But
Dope.
yeah, Logan Michels 10 and then Logan Michels Fitness.
Dope. Well, Logan, Jeremy, it was dope having you guys both on. Hope you guys have a great day, and
You
we'll
too,
see you
man.
guys.
Yeah, thank
Sweet.
you.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.